following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jacob Ledrup here.
Hey guys, Chuck Ritchie here, formerly of Bowl TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5, Rad Rob, Dr. Ocho, and of course JP Jr.
As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation.
Strike, and they claim it. Similarly does it.
So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob Francois. Rad Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I am your host, Rad Rob. Grilled chicken. Their blackened grilled chicken tenders are amaze balls. And obviously their mashed potatoes with their Cajun gravy is so good. No more fried chicken for me unless I have a cheat day. This is episode number 146, the calm before the storm. We have the PBA Tour is off for a week, about to gear up, especially with the month-long event that is the World Series of Bowling coming up in March. So we are looking forward to that. Before we introduce my two buddies, let's see who is in the chat tonight. Nico Puhar, our resident statistician and journalist, investigative journalist, doing fine work for us and Sweep the Rack. What's going on, Nico? Chuck Ritchie in the open, but will never be a guest. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. You've made more appearances on the show than pretty much we have, honestly. Crambone, what's going on, Crambone? Good to see you. Billy M's in the house. What up? Kevin Beers, cheers, Beers. What's up, brother? How can you say no to Popeyes? I mean, it's fair. That's fair. Peacow is here. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Michael Hanlon's in the house. What's going on? Good evening, sir. Staying man, what's up, brother? What's going on? I'm waiting for Alex Bermudez from behind the drill press in Modesto, California. He's apparently not here yet, so we'll wait for him to show up. But yeah, let's. By the way, anybody that has doesn't like this hat, that's not my problem. Anyway, it's America, and we sent a mandate, so suck it. Let's bring in my first co-host. He is the man with the golden mask. He has the largest arms on the podcast, but Johnny P is catching up to him. Johnny's getting yoked. Oh, we got more people. Hold on. Ocho can wait. Our fans are more important. Douglas Heron, what's going on? Nico, what's going on? Hurry up before the doctor gets angry at you. He's always angry at me. Like, he's just angry, period. I've never seen him smile, but then again, I've never seen his mouth either. So, yeah. Anyway. Nicole is not here yet. Nicole's not here yet. We are all waiting for the appearance of Nicole Neff. PD, what's going on, PD? I just saw you laughed at one of my comments I left on Facebook. What's going on, Patrick? Good to have you here, former alumni of Straight Up 5. All right. With John Rome, anal. I mean, whatever floats your boat. There she is. Hold on.
Hi, I'm super excited to be able to wish
happy
Ocho
birthday,
a
Nicole.
happy birthday
No,
today.
happy birthday to you, Nicole. Good evening, Nicole. Good to have you here. Steve Sachs in the house. What's going on? Nice split last night. Yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to show that. That was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. I'm not joking. It was literally one of the most incredible achievements in bowling I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, where did I leave off? Golden Mask, Largest Arms, the Resident Doctor, and the House Hack of Hollow Lanes. Straight out of Ochoville, number 1, Dr. Ocho. Actually, he's number 8. But what up, Och?
Rob, you're doing good with your not swearing. You've only sworn about 4 times so far.
No.
Out already.
No, have I? Have I really?
Yes. So, and
I do.
ladies and gentlemen, Rob is on a quest to find his neck. So, and he said he's going to stop swearing. So I came up with a monologue that would help Rob in his new quest.
I gotta put beats in this.
It's a little bit of a ripoff, but it goes like this. Fuck, 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 motherfuck, fuck, motherfuck, noise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, noise. Smoking beers, smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, motherfuck, fuck. Bring him in.
Johnny, I told Mark
swearing.
Butch Ocho would be like, F that. I knew. You guys are so predictable.
You already suck. You screwed it up. You were unfettered, like the unfettered, no neck Popeyes eating some bitch you is.
Stephanie's back in the house. I asked her where she'd been lately. She's been a busy girl and getting ready for that wedding coming up. That putting together a couch or a entertainment side. I forgot what she said. Anyway. Also joining us is the man with the name of the marquee. He is number 7 in your program, number 1 in your hearts. Everyone's favorite Johnny, the one and only Legend's son, the sexiest man in the world, Johnny Petraglia. Don't call me Junior. What up, JP?
He was actually right. You did do it at least 4 times.
No.
Before he even showed up.
I'm son of a bitch.
And now I'm laughing my caboose off. See what I did there?
Nico says I get 4 free ones.
Can't say rumper.
All right, I've already used all 4. Thanks, Nico.
Christ.
Always a pleasure to be here with you guys and all of our fans. Thank you guys so much for being here. Having a good day, Rad Rob. Having a good day. Spent most of the day with Dad watching the kids to the next level for the state championship. Shout out to the Howell girls and the Jackson Memorial boys. Let's go, guys. You guys are awesome.
That's awesome. Good job.
Yeah.
You had sent me a picture right before we started.
Yeah, my buddy JJ Sunday actually asked me to put this up here. This is our boy Christian, and he's rocking the Dad Waco Wonders jersey. Own-eaters, baby. Own-eaters. But anytime JJ ever tells me to do something, he's like the male equivalent of Stephanie Sheridan. Like whenever he says to do something, I do it.
I do.
They do work for the kids all the time, and we just the first thing. Actually, do me a favor, Rad Rob. Let me look at JJ's message. A longtime friend of mine's son asked if I had a bowling jersey for his senior pictures, and let me use your dad's, and let him use dad's that, and JJ gave it to him. Hope this makes you feel proud, JJ. It definitely makes me proud, and it's the best intro to the show ever. And Christian, if you're here, dude, whatever you're doing, keep going. You got good people in your corner, kid. So but that's from, like I said earlier, man, like Stephanie's always there, JJ's always there, so we have to support Christian, and it's pretty badass to watch him rocking Dad's jersey.
Yeah, it's so cool, dude.
Heck yeah.
Very proud of that kid.
Heck yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, sending a shout out to Troy Lint, who lost his mom, I believe, today.
Shit.
Yeah. We love you, Troy. We're thinking about your brother, praying for your family.
Sucks.
Yes, I saw his post today. I think it was today. I don't want to get it twisted, but
clearly it happened. So, man, Troy, that sucks.
I guess he got a call or a text and said he had to rush over to get to her, that she wasn't doing well. And
when there's like, I don't know about you guys, but first off, You know, I'm not on Facebook, so I didn't know that. So first thing, Troy, everybody here is here for you, whatever you need. Jeff, thank you for letting us know. And like I don't know what it feels like to lose a parent. Not yet.
Yeah.
I don't know what that feels like. I don't even want to think about it to tell you the truth.
Well, here's the truth. It blows just from
Yeah.
experience.
Ouch.
No.
Ouch just lost his dad. So yeah.
Go ahead, Oach.
No, that's it. It blows. I
Yeah.
mean, my father's 7 years as of Sunday.
And you
So-
still post every year on the anniversary.
Well, it's
So-
also it happens to be Gabriella's half birthday too, so I won't have to think about that. When do we do that? When she's 6 or 7 years old, we don't do halves anymore.
Yeah, probably. I don't.
So I got another 3-4 years of that, and then this way I at least celebrate Gabriella while I have a day of a
You
Valentine
don't
Day
identify
on
by
Sunday
months
morning.
anymore. She's 37 months old. So
Well, Oach, without getting like too deep, like what do you say to somebody that like it's new for that just lost somebody?
Nothing. There's what can you say?
Nothing, right?
It's nothing. It sucks. It sucks when they die old. It sucks when they die young because they say, well, at least it's expected. Who cares if it's expected? It sucks.
yeah,
Now
Chuck
you just
Ritchie
have to
said
give me plenty of time with them. And they say it gets easier. It does, but it comes back instantly.
it does.
Like,
Certain even
again,
like
7 years, and I'm like, man, I just talked to him the other day, or he's just calling me a goddamn asshole just the other day, putting a dirt bike together or something. So
I was gonna say, if you see motocross, if you smell a certain food like that
What
maybe he
doesn't?
cooked when you
What
grew
doesn't?
up, like there's so many things that trigger memories at
and
any second.
and my mother's still there's Troy.
There's
Troy,
Troy.
sorry, buddy, man. We
Troy, we
just
love you,
heard
buddy.
about it.
Seriously.
Yeah, my mother still lives in the house that we all grew up in, and I take care of the house. So I mean, all his tools are still there. He's got badass tools though, so that's the other good thing.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to say. You can't. We all go through it. It's something. 95% of us probably go through it eventually, but there's no way to deal with it. No way to tell you how to deal with it.
So I guess it's safe to say that we all deal with it differently. Like
There's no owner's manual, that's for sure.
There's a certain amount of time that everybody like harnesses it, like accepts it. Dude, I'm already crazy. I'm not cursing. I'm already crazy. What am I
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
do?
I legit went mental. I mean, as far as like this is everybody, Ocho, this is normal for here. So just imagine how I was for about a year after. Not lunacy or anything, just hunkered, I guess we could say. Hunkered down, basically.
Not that it matters, but it was yesterday. But either way, Troy, we love you, buddy. Like,
Well,
Anyways,
to
seriously.
Troy, you
hang
know
in there,
what?
buddy.
I know one thing I can do for Troy. I can actually flip the script. Troy's gone through every trial, every tribulation, everything in the last 10 years. And he's somehow figured out a way to be player of the year, a major champion. He's flipped from doing a standard 9 to 5 to a PBA champion. And Troy, if there's anybody in the world that can handle this, it's you, dude.
Yeah.
But you always have all of us right behind you, dude. So for your mother, all of us, we just, God bless her. And but you're the kind of brain that can keep going. That's all I got.
yeah, don't let it. I won't say don't let it affect you, but I mean, don't let it bring you down to the point to where you lose sight of what you got going on right now. Because obviously, we all still have to go on, regardless of whatever deaths we have in the family. I mean, you can't just
Troy,
sit
do
back.
whatever you need to do to get through it.
Heck yeah.
But,
Whatever you
he's-
got to do. There's
he's
no
still hitting
owner's manual. There's no right, no wrong. If you're not hurting yourself, hurting others, hurting animals, do what you got to do.
and many years sober. Skyers is right, Jeff. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, don't let it sidetrack your brother. I mean, stay in the gym. In fact, going to the gym would probably be the best thing for you to just take your mind off it for an hour or so. And we hope you come back this year, brother, on the tour because you've had so many setbacks since your Player of the Year. So, but yeah, we are definitely praying for your family, and I mean that. It's not just a cliche.
There's JJ, not to take it off Troy, but there's JJ with Christian in the picture. Rob, what does he have to say?
JJ Sunday says, "Thank you, Johnny, and to Troy, our deepest condolences. I remember helping her to the front of the podium for Troy's Pennsylvania State Hall of Fame induction speech. Our thoughts, prayers, and support are with you, as well as the Pico family and everybody else here. Brian Olson, everybody loves Troy."
So I'm going to say this about JJ Sunday because we don't talk about him enough on this show. JJ is the male version of Stephanie Sheridan. He is the person that's always there, that always cares, that always does things like that. And that's the reason when he asked me to throw Christian up there, I said yes, like without a doubt. He's just like Ocho. He's just like you, Rob. He's just like Martha. He's just a good man, and he actually cares about people that care about other people.
Yeah.
And to me, that's my saving grace, man. JJ's always been my saving grace, just like you, just like Ocho, just like Stephanie. So I just want to make sure that everybody that's in that chat right now, if you've never met that man, JJ Sunday, or his brother PJ, top 24 at the U.S. Open, let's go. That's the kind of friend you want. That's the kind of guy you want in your corner.
We gotta get him on the show.
Just like Sperone. Just like Sperone.
I love Sperone.
Just yeah.
He's cranky, but he's a great dude.
Let him be cranky.
Right? He's been through enough. So
he's also awesome.
Yes. It should be a shirt. Someone get to the art department. Let him be cranky. Put it out there. Funny. Let's get the shirts going.
Oh, I totally missed that wonderful woman. Bring that name back up. I totally missed this one. You want to meet the best friggin' woman ever? It's Sunny. She's the best. Sunny, I'm so sorry I missed you, babe. Love you. All right, go ahead, Rob. So
I do have a question from the chat from Mike Ruther. 58 years old, back hitting the gym. Good job, dude. I'm 10 years younger and doing the same thing, and it's actually fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's been fun getting back in the gym. Any tips on strength and flexibility for a senior bowler? Thanks, guys. Always enjoy the show.
You want me to take it?
Yes, sir, Dr. Ocho.
So is this now? He's talking about strength and flexibility strictly for bowling, I assume, correct?
We can assume that.
So what he's going to want to do is focus on his core and his accessory muscles and his flexibility. He needs to get a good stretching program. Now, good exercises for obviously basic squats are good for bowling. That's your foundation. You don't have to. You could just do leg presses. You want your legs strong, but also doing some lunges, not too far. You don't want to stretch too far, but almost like squat lunges where you're actually. I can't demonstrate this. Look what a squat lunge is, where you kind of
not Bulgarians, but like halfway.
And you squat, come up. You do your 10 reps that way, one leg, then 10 reps the other way. You can hold weights. You can, and also, if you want to do an exercise and you're standing up, stand on that Bosu. You know that Bosu ball? It's a half a moon. Just stand on it. You will engage so many of your accessory muscles of your core, your erector muscles, your transverse abdominis, your obliques. These are muscles that are tough to target, especially because your abs, there's not really weight resistance to them. It's not like you can bench press and your abs get better. You can contract them, but even a sit-up isn't exactly strengthening your core. It's pulling on your abdominis, your rectus abdominis. If you're doing an exercise where you're sitting, sit on that physio ball, that 65 centimeter. Oh, Jesus. Hey. This bad.
Mike, listen to this.
Nice ball,
please listen to this.
just sit on that when you're because I mean you want to do exercises again for bowling. I get it. You want to stay symmetrical too. Do exercises where you're symmetrical. So again, standing on the Bosu, you know what you do? You hold a little medicine ball and do squats on the Bosu. You can do rotations just like this, but you're standing on the Bosu. I got one over here, but I can't dig it out. It's too deep, and I got these. But again, your legs are your foundation of bowling. And make sure you stretch the bejesus out of them, because you're going to realize your plant leg is going to start burning after a little bit if you don't take care of it. I guess your knee is gonna start hurting a little bit. So make sure you take care of that at first. If anything, we could do a 10-minute dissertation on it, but I don't have my stuff in front of me, but that's the way to go for right now. Ranges of motion are the most important. Do not stiffen up.
And what I do, and Christopher Leslie mentioned stretching. Stretching is
Yoga's
fantastic.
good for that too. Absolutely, 100%.
But I use DDP yoga, which I got into, lost a ton of weight with that in Weight Watchers 9 years ago.
Ocho,
put it all back on. But
Rob,
yeah.
after you, when you're done.
Look it up. It's not your traditional yoga. They use dynamic resistance, which is hard to explain, but it's almost like pulling on resistance bands, but you do it yourself. Your muscles push back against you. You straighten your hands out and you push as hard as you can, trying to pull back against your own muscles. That is fantastic for cardio. It's also fantastic for your core. It is a game-changing program. So if you guys want to check it out, DDP Yoga, check him out.
I've done it before too. He's correct on everything he's saying.
It's an absolute game changer.
Drop it, man. I'm gonna do it. But I want to follow up with what my doctor said, Mike. To just follow what Ocho just said. Listen, man. Me and Ocho like to get bigger up top. We really, really do. It's not going to help you in bowling. What he said about the legs and the core, go and watch all the PGA Tour guys on, like, for golf. They're throwing medicine balls against the wall. They're doing anything for the lower half. Remember, the lower half comprises like almost 70% of your entire weight and your body. So if you get everything down here to work, everything up here always follows what's down here. The same way, like, here's a great comparison. If you put your arm in front of you like this and you are tense, your shoulders are going to follow it, right? But if you're loose, it's going to be by itself, right? It works from the bottom to the top. Doc, if I'm wrong, please tell me. But
You're 100%
everything
on.
starts from the bottom, and what's down here is what makes the world go round when it comes to sport, especially bowling. So work on what everything Ocho just said, but like, just remember, this may look pretty on the beach, but this is what's going to make you money, So I just wanted to add that.
Now, clean house in them brackets, man.
Heck yeah, man. If these are stable, this stuff just follows, right?
Absolutely. And again, that's part of that stuff is where I got it from, watching, reading, how golfers train, keeping their core straight. That's where I got the squats with a medicine ball and trunk rotations, things like that. Obviously, the motion is different, so you're not going to be too whippy, but you still need to be symmetrical, because let's face it, bowling is an asymmetrical sport, and that's where injuries happen. So, anyways, go at it, my man. Get at it. Get in those brackets, get in them high game pots, and take some coin.
Martial arts is great too. Dale Stewart, 61, and doing martial arts, Wing Chun, and finding that it's helping core and flexibility. Yeah.
Dale,
everybody,
that's
Wing
my dad
Chun tonight.
That's what my dad did for when he flew out to Japan for the Japan Cup in 1976. He met his sensei. I'm sorry, I'm burping. He brought his sensei back, and they opened a karate school in Brooklyn. And that's exactly what his sensei said. Bring that quote back up, or that comment back up, Red Rob. Martial arts is literally the epitome of using the core. Am I wrong, Och?
No. That's exactly how it is. It's balance. It's stability.
Yeah. And that's like that's really it. It's that's it.
Nailed it.
Build up your glutes, hips, and legs. Foundation is everything same as golf. Yeah, I mean it really is. It's
absolutely, Dave. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, there's my boy Alex.
Everybody wing.
What's up, Alex?
Tonight.
Crushing it this week.
There he
Welcome
is.
from
there he is. Everybody wing.
Let's get into some league talk before we get into the PBA.
Everybody,
I want to show everybody a video, and if you guys are listening to this in audio, I'm sorry.
I just did it for some money. It's not a big deal. You don't even see anything.
This is a video sent to me by the amazing Martha Suze of JP at League this week. Was this at Howell or where was it, John?
I'm assuming this is Majestic Lanes, and
Majestic. Okay.
Before you play it, we won this game by 3 pins.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Oh
wow!
So if you miss completely, oh boy,
roll that ish.
Here we go.
Let's go to the video.
That's stupid.
Damn.
Like that's stupid. I'm so
Talk about using the whole lane too, man. What did you start
Right,
that at
dude?
2, huh? I mean, you had to. You were standing there too. That's awesome. That's a hard cut. I mean, dude, even let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 410 is hard, and it's easier than that.
The 710 is easier than that.
You know, it's funny.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Rob, are you trying to play it again, or like?
Yes, I'm actually going to throw it up so we all can watch it.
Play it again. Och, I'll actually answer that question. I'm very, very good throwing the ball that way at Majestic because there's so much oil in the middle of the lane, and I like to hug the left gutter. I like to have my spare ball stand up the second I let it go. The crazy thing about this video is, aside,
is that what your spare ball?
It's my T zone, man. My black sky T zone
video. There we go.
But that's not what you throw in
here's
7
what's crazy,
right?
and here's what is amazing about Martha. Martha watched me leave that and then said, "Oh, maybe I should take out my camera and film it." She doesn't care what I'm striking. She literally hung up the phone with Danielle Martino, Tommy Martino's daughter. She hung up the phone because she thought I was going to make that. I had no idea. She was even filming. And that's the one frame. It's the one shot that she said, "Oh, wait. John's going to make this." And meanwhile, I think I've made that maybe 3 times in my life. Maybe 3 times. And our team snagged that game by 3 pins.
That's so badass.
Damn. What were you in the 9th frame? It looks like.
And I'm bowling against a really, really good man and a great bowler, Bill Stahl. And we happened to win that game by 3 pins. And it was awesome. And then the next game, I go stone 8, stone 9 sheet for 279, and I won all the money. So it was a nice night. Throwing the brand new Brunswick Hypnotize.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
that was the main ball I was throwing tonight because my effect tour started to like kind of fart down lane. But what's funny is Martha doesn't know enough about bowling, and she messaged me earlier today and she said, I knew you were going to make that. And I wrote back to her, "You know what, babe? So did I. I was aiming and I said, yep, Yep, I'm gonna make it too. But she's what's the word? She just, I guess, she just expects awesomeness. Like
She does.
we were talking earlier. Like she said to somebody, "Why don't you average 230?" Like, oh, don't you average 230? I'm like, honey, I average 230, and that's like 705 every week. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, if it was that
Right,
easy, we'd
right.
all be doing
And
it.
exactly, Oj. But it was the fact that she took out her phone and filmed that, and I made it. It changed the entire momentum of my life and the entire night. And
Yeah, it's not like she was recording every shot and you
No,
just
she
that was
happened
was
to
the only
do that
shot.
in the
That
middle
was
of
the
it.
only shot.
Only
She had a
shot
That was
premonition.
the
filmed was
only
that.
shot.
Like,
Yeah, that's a heck
That's
of a
wild.
premonition. I'm telling you. Well done, JP. Like I said, one of the most impressive things I've seen ever. And that's just what you. That's what you do.
And Rob, here's the best part. When it was done, she was asking me how many degrees it took to tip a bowling pin over. And she swore because she looked somewhere like Wikipedia. She's like, "Oh, it's 7 degrees." I said, "No, honey, it's not. It's like closer to like 9.3 degrees." And then she messaged John Janowitz, good old JJ. And then I said, "Honey, I promise your shit's wrong. Sorry. Your poop's wrong. Like you're
You can
on
swear.
like the wrong degree. It's closer to 9." And then
Can't she change Wikipedia then? Like it's a public thing,
And then
isn't it? She should be able to do that.
JJ wrote her back and said, "I think it's like 8 or 9 degrees, but I always remember Bill Burton saying 9.6 degrees to tip it off its axis." So,
And that's what you did.
and then we laughed about it, but it was fun. And the fact that she was there, and just happy the entire time. And not to mention our good boy Sweet Blends, Georgie Hart, like we had a great convo before the night started. It calmed down everything. And then to spend the day with Dad watching the Howell, New Jersey girls and Jackson Memorial boys kicking some you know what and moving on to Carolier. It's just been a nice 2 days.
That's awesome, dude.
What's Jim got, Rob? Go ahead.
Jim Ward wants to know, hey guys, hope you're all doing fine. Got a question. I know it's early in the season, but can you tell me or give me a reason why the scoring on the TV show so far has been very inconsistent and the inconsistency in spare shooting?
He called his shit poop.
He called the shit poop.
It's one of them flaming bags again.
No, put it out with your boots, Ted.
Devil woman.
Don't tell me my
Don't
business,
tell me
devil
nothing, you
woman.
devil woman.
Call the fire department. This one's out of control. Back to
He called his
back
shit
to
See which questions are important and which ones.
Oh man.
Jim. I actually can't answer this. I'm not out there, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Because the scores were high at the Pete Weber Missouri Classic. They were high. There was a lot of hold in the middle. Jim,
Hasn't it been like the first couple games have been a little rickety and then the guys kind of track it out a little bit? Is that really, or that's kind of what happened the other day with Barnes and Barrett the first game, right? And then Barrett started, last couple frames, he had such a big lead. I thought he just kept switching balls till he kind of got lined up or something. And then he just started firing.
I actually don't know. Like I said, excuse me, I'm burping again. I don't know, but I feel the same way that Jim does. I'm not sure. Like
you just sounded like Christopher Walken, by the way.
I don't. No, I
don't know. I don't know why the scoring is so low, but maybe the oil is different, or the lights are burning the oil.
Talking.
I gotta have more cowbell.
I do.
Anyway,
But like for real though, Jim, I honestly don't know yet. It's way too early, and we're not out there, so I can't honestly give you an answer to that. Maybe next week when we have one of the guys that are out there telling us what's going on,
that's true.
he'll give us the right answer, or she does.
I mean, and the U.S. Open, didn't they use like 4 different patterns or something, or 3
Yes,
different ones?
yes,
So like
they did.
you know, and then they finally again cream rises to the
they,
top.
and they and then
But
they
still,
that
if they were easy,
no.
we'd all be shooting 300.
But Jim, that's actually a great question, and we can't answer it because it wouldn't be true. Is that cool?
Yeah, I mean that's
pure
fair.
speculation. Yep.
That's absolutely fair. Nico says, I thought we'd never discuss poop on the show. That's wrong. If you go back in our archives from 2 years ago,
Done a whole bunch of times.
we talked
Yeah,
we talked
easily.
to a professional about how he poops. Ocho was very fascinated with Marshall Kent. And
Actually, I asked probably the first 5 guests about the early squad because these guys, they start at 8:00 in the morning, and let's be honest, we're all even in your 20s. Sometimes you just get that gut rumble in the morning, unless you're up at 5 a.m. and you give yourself plenty of time to have your coffee and whatever your oatmeal or your eggs and grits or whatever it is. If you're a self-respecting Southerner, but there's got to be that time where it's like, okay, 10 minutes till practice, and then the gurgle hits.
All right.
Then what happens?
All right.
And the panic.
it's true.
So,
When you're done, I'm going to tell.
I mean, no, that's so I was asking, and it was a legit thing. And it was, thank you, Marshall Kent, for being unfettered, because he was like, oh my God, that happens more than you even realize. And he said, we even have a phrase for it. He said he'll get out and be like, oh man, that was a plus 200 dump for me. And he'll go out and freaking.
It's the best thing Ocho's ever did on
is
the show. Like, it's his favorite moment of all of our shows.
I wouldn't say favorite, but I mean, look,
You've only brought up like 15 times over the
do.
last 3 years.
Rad Rob and Ocho.
But because we get even guest, I want to know each guest because I don't want this is reality,
Johnny,
man.
whatever your name is.
We're unfettered.
All right. I'm going to say this. And they're in the next room and they're watching, and I'm actually going to say this. I was what?
Hit it in his ass.
22, 23 years old. This is like almost 20 years ago. My dad rents a limo to take my mom to a Broadway show. So that's like an hour and a half from Jackson, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And
oh, Jesus.
I say to my mom and my dad on their way out, they're like dressed to the nine. Dad's in a suit, mom's in a dress. I'm walking him out to the limo. I'm putting him in the car. And I say to my dad,
I'm already laughing.
do you guys want some food or some drinks? You got like an hour and a half drive. My dad looks at me and goes, me and your mom made a deal. If we don't put anything in, nothing will come out. We're fine. I'm like 22.
Oh my God.
I'm 22.
That's preparation,
I
man.
closed the door. And to this day, I'm like, that's me too. That's me too.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yes,
Put that
we
on a
need to put
t-shirt
that on a
also.
t-shirt.
If nothing goes
I
in,
can hear your
nothing
dad
comes
saying
out.
that. I can
Now, there is a
picture
time frame for
I can
that, by the
picture
way,
JP
because
Senior saying that.
anatomically,
And he was
that's
so
accurate only
confident
for
when
a
he
certain
said
amount
it.
of time.
And my mom looked at me and she did this. Like, right behind him. Right behind him.
That's like when they when they stripe a golf ball and they're like, "Oh, be right." That's
Right.
kind of that.
They were like,
It's
"Oh,
be right."
be inside of me."
Oh, that's so
Yep,
good.
we're good.
It's
So good. That's so funny. That's but hey, no, it's look, it's true. And honestly, we don't do that here in the podcast. We just kind of hold it in, but especially when you have Belmo on the show for 2.5 hours or Danny Wiseman talking for 3 hours.
I wasn't holding nothing in. I had to do babysitting duties. Then
Oh,
I had
yeah,
to
Ocha
use
just
the
leaves. He
restroom
just
a
turns the
handful of
camera off and
times.
leaves. Wow.
By the way, I know it's late, but we have to say hi to Leanne and the entire staff at Lucky Strike Cafe, right next to Howell Lanes. Thank you for the best buffalo chicken wrap and the best food ever. And my dad said it to me yesterday. He said, "I'm not sure which language she's like. What was her first language? Because she's so good at English and so good at Spanish." He was actually afraid to ask her. So I asked her. She goes, "Oh, my first language is Italian." And today I told
She's
her
just awesome.
to come watch, and her entire staff at Lucky Strike. And Leanne, if you're watching, thank you so much, babe. What's up, Mikey, my doubles partner for Monmouth County? Go ahead.
Let's dive back into league talk real quick before we move on to the tour. Aside from that split, Johnny, how have you been bowling lately, and how'd you do this week?
I've said this to a bunch of people. I'm having the best bowling season of my life. For some reason, everything is working. I've got the greatest support group behind me. Always have, aside from you guys and all of our fans. I'm having a great bowling season. I've been spending a lot of time with Dad at Howell, trying to like get his old ass to like do what his young ass used to do.
Yeah.
I have the best people behind me all the time. I'm kicking some tush this year, man. I'm bowling well, and shout out to Najee Myers and Brandon Burwell, my teammates on March 2nd at good old Bowler City. We're gonna win that $3,000. To my UBA team, the Goon Squad, to my X League team, I cannot praise enough the brains of people on the East Coast when it comes to bowling.
Amen.
I love the calmness of the West Coast, but being back home and being surrounded by people that just want to throw strikes is the coolest thing in the world. The way the kids and the old fogies approach my dad at Howell Lanes or Majestic, even for me, like it's such a blessing to be surrounded by bowlers. Bowlers are like Rob, like I've said for 3 years, from all walks of life. You meet people from every single walk of life, and they're all sharing the exact same love that we have.
Yep.
Which is this sport. Ocho, do you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, and I'm on a different level because I'm a hack, but absolutely, it's more camaraderie than anything. Looking forward to my Thursday night. It's like, sure, I want to go strike, but this may shock people. I'm a little bit of a loudmouth when I bowl, and I know I'll let everyone drink that in for a sec.
I don't.
I know your mind is blown, but I'm a little bit of a loudmouth, and it's just fun to get out and rage and goof off and try to win. You know, I don't get. Look, if I, not too long ago, Johnny Sr. we were down by about 60 in the 9th frame or 8th frame, and he says, you guys can come back because you got a couple strikes going. And then, sure enough, we did come back, and we're in the 10th. And he goes, all you need are 3 strikes, and you guys win by 2. No pressure.
Yeah.
It was fun as hell. Did Ocho get him? Of course Ocho got him. And we won by 2. And I also said, see, I also don't really know how to keep score either, because I do, but I don't after a bunch of strikes and all that. I get twisted up. When it's in the 10th and I only got one more throw left, I can figure it out. But so when he said that, I didn't know that because I didn't know how many mine would carry over. So I was like, great, all I needed to know. And then I freaking made it, and he called it. And there was actually people around him because he had predicted it. So, but other than that, for me, it's just a fun night out. If I wouldn't have thrown a strike in the second frame, or if I'd have thrown a 7 count in the third frame of it, I don't know. I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it. I'd be out afterwards having a sandwich, talking about the night, and then going back the next week doing the same thing, rinse and repeat. It's a good night. It's a goofy, fun night. Nobody gets too angry. It's not a bunch of pain in the asses. There's no kick in the machines. Anyways. So, yes, I could have just said yes.
Steve, no, I'm not. I'm subbing at Majestic at 10 a.m. and then I have something to take care of. But I did talk to Andres LeBron and Najee, the next one. Meanwhile, I want to say something about this guy right here, Rad Rob, and Ocho. Thank you for that. This man right here, for anybody that doesn't know this man, if we had 10 more people like Dougie, this entire sport would be like golf. This man right here, there's nobody better. This man right here works his absolute tush off every day, and he's got a following for that exact reason. Rad Rob, Dr. Ocho, please meet Dougie. That's
What up, Dougie?
Dougie Heron, fresh Dougie. that man right there is Dougie. I'm sorry, you still probably have my snot on your hoodie. I'm sorry at Bolorama, but here's another one from Massachusetts area. Here's Dell. My 6-year-old needs to meet your dad. He had his high game Saturday, 150. Dell, I will gladly give you my phone number, and please let's FaceTime with Dad. So I wanna shift gears here for a minute. Rad Rob, you actually hang on. Bolorama, Delaware. I'll be there. I'm bowling Najee on the 2nd at Bowler City, and of course I'll be there, Dougie. Of course. Can you leave that up there just in case anybody else wants to? Anybody that's interested in a great bowling tournament run by a great man, look at this post right here. This is a great man, great tournament director. Just please, 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 please follow this man, please.
Bolorama in Delaware, August 23rd, $300 entry, $20,000 for first place. That's fantastic. That's we need more of that, honestly.
What is it? 8? How many games is it? 8 games and then go to match play or something like that, or 6? Oh, no, probably not 8.
Ask Dougie. I'm not sure.
Hey, Dougie, how many games?
I know I'll be there. I know I'll be there.
I will not be there, but I will be there in spirit.
Rad Rob, Rad Rob is, before we get back into bowling talk, because part of our show has to do with like taking care of yourself. For those of you watching, Rad Rob decided to do some work for himself and his family. Not going to go too much into it, but Rad Rob, when you woke up that day that you decided, what was the reason?
Off the top of my head, it's too long to try to get, but I'll actually read what I wrote to you, because
he wanted to find his neck too. Let's not forget about that.
It's already coming.
It's here somewhere, I promise you. And I'm going to be honest. This is exactly what I told Johnny, because he asked me what made you want to start this fitness journey again. I said I'm not going to lie and say I did it for my family. I'm selfish AF. I'm doing it for me first, so I'm not miserable anymore, so I can move again. But secondly, for my daughter, so she doesn't have to follow the same habits. I come home from work, I lay in bed, I watch YouTube. She gets home from school and does the same thing. I absolutely cannot do that to her, and I can't keep up with her. I'm not old. I'm 48. I mean, I still have a long way to go. And when you wake up and you're in pain every day, it sucks, and I'm a stress eater, so I get stressed because I feel like crap every day. So I end up just
How do you get home before your daughter from
I
work?
make my own
though?
hours. Yeah.
Right on.
And I eat my stress away, and which just creates more stress. It's a vicious cycle. Um, you talk about addictions, you talk about alcohol, you talk about drugs. Food is an absolute addiction too. And in some cases, it could be worse. I mean, it gave me diabetes. It gave me, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I don't need that. Like I'm too young for that. And I just you're the only one that can make the change. Honestly, anybody dealing with anything out there, you are literally are the only one that can make that decision.
So,
Nobody else can do it for you. You have to be the one to make the decision. So I
so
just
that's all real stuff. And if you don't want to answer this, you don't have to.
I'm an
But
open book.
we've done this for 3 years, and there was a period on this show, I think it was episode 50 to 70, where I was stone sober and I didn't ever rely on the bottle, right? And then I flipped the script and now I drink again. There had to be something that, like, you must have woke. This is for any addict, whether it's food, whether it's booze, whether it's steroids, whether it's cocaine, whether it's heroin, I don't care. Whatever addiction you have, there had to be something at some point that you said, you know what, this is it. Did you like? Do you want to share that moment, or is that too deep?
I mean, obviously, it's been building for a while. Like it's been 10 years since I met DDP. That's when I started my journey. And honestly, I was only in shape for a year. So it's been 9 years since I felt good again. Every year that goes by as you get older, it gets harder. It gets a lot harder. And you throw on having a kid at 42 years old. Yeah, I mean, you thought that would have been enough to make me want to change, but now she's almost 7 years old. And she's the best thing I ever did. Like, she is my legacy. It doesn't matter what I do here on this show, anywhere else. That's my legacy. I can't let her go down the same path that I did. And I know she's young, but it could start just like that. And she could develop those bad habits that will carry on for the rest of her life. And I cannot absolutely do that to her. Was there an actual tipping point or breaking point? No. I mean, I just woke up and said, I'm going to do this. Like I'm going to, it was just on a whim. I'm going to get back and I went on and joined up to Planet Fitness. I said, I'm going to do this. I texted DDP and asked him if he had any kind of discounts for his program. And he hooked me up with one. Super great dude. Literally known him for 10 years. Trust me with his cell phone number. He is like the legit dude. Like, he just wants to help people. Doesn't matter if there's money involved. Diamond Dallas Page is the real deal. But yeah, just for all those reasons I listed, Johnny, it was just like a light bulb went off. I said, I'm done. Like, this literally sucks. I can't do this anymore. And that's what I did.
So to anybody watching, Ocho, follow me up after I say this. He had a reason, whether he has an actual pronounced reason. I had a reason. You had a reason. Ocho, isn't this like one of the main reasons we're here other than bowling?
It's kind of what we started talking about to begin with. Bowling was like, hey, let's try that too. Why not? Gee, our first 20 shows were probably a little bit of bowling and a lot about this stuff.
Absolutely. That's how we started the show. It wasn't always about bowling. And that's what we say in our opening of the show.
Right there, bro. Rad Rob.
Yeah,
son.
thank you, Sonny.
I've run into her husband and her son not only on the driving range, but also in the gym. And they preach the exact same thing. Sonny runs marathons like all the time. She also runs a household. She also takes care of everything, and so does her husband, and so does her kid. I only know little Scott. I don't know the other kid, but their entire family like abides by like that one rule where they take care of themselves all the time, and they're aggressive and they're forward and they're gentle at the exact same time. So it's what you guys are saying right now is the exact same thing that got me into weightlifting. I was in the back of the car with Rochelle in her Acura MDX looking at the Death Valley Mountains, and I told her 7 years ago, I said, I want to be sexy. I don't want to have this spare tire around my shit and my poop anymore. I want to get lean. And then I got into weightlifting, and God bless his soul, my late friend Jason Tizzo taught me how to weightlift. He taught me how to weightlift. He's gone now. And anybody that knows Jason Tizzo, I know he was nuts, but he was also a great man. I'm going to start to cry. But like what you're doing right now, what you've done for me, Och, since for like the last 20 years, like what my dad has done for me and my mom my entire life, like this is what makes the world go round, you know? These kind of people, the people that are in our chat, the people that are here every single week, Jeff Skyers, I got a lot to say to you, man. But like everybody that's in the chat, they're our people.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with politics, has nothing to do with race, has nothing to do with anything. Everybody in here right now that's actually listening at some point in their own life is going through what everybody else here is going through. Let me take a sip of Diet Coke. Somebody.
And what Troy's going through.
Everyone
you know,
is.
it's
AJ Rice is dealing with too. Like, yeah,
this is reality.
We all have to deal with. That's life. I mean, it's the only thing they say that's sure is death and taxes, right? I mean, it's death is inevitable. And Ocho's biceps.
And I don't pay taxes.
That's only.
I know I'm going to die soon.
Hope President Trump, can you please pardon Johnny P for not paying his taxes?
Please, God.
Appreciate that.
Well, as long as the IRS ain't watching, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean,
they don't bowl. They don't bowl.
No,
the IRS is
they're
notoriously non-bowlers, so it's fine.
Sperone, absolutely. Battles numerous demons daily. We all do. I've had personal talks with Roger Meany, another great friend of yours and supporter of our show. And I won't get into it, but I mean, he's confided to me of some stuff he went through in the past, in the military and all that. And there's so much that we go through, whether it's addiction, whether it's demons, whether it's stuff that happened to our past, emotional, abuse, physical abuse. Here, Jeff Skyer says, addiction is real. Alcohol is fun. Believe me, I know, but I also know the effects of it. I effed up 2 relationships, spent thousands of dollars that I'll never get back, lost my job all because I couldn't control it. The alcohol controlled me. I'm at 7 months without a drink and I don't regret it. I'm not saying I won't ever have another, but for now, I'm good. Good job, Skyers. We
I feel like that's like the most beautiful thing you can ever write.
Yeah.
An alcoholic, even if you're 1,000 days sober, will always be an alcoholic. Always.
Yep.
And for me, I'm definitely an alcoholic. Whether I'm not drinking or I am drinking, I'm an alcoholic. I will always be an alcoholic. So the day that I decide to put this down, which I'm not drinking on the show for the sake of the kids that are watching, because any kids watching, take this and shove it up your, you know what.
Not literally,
no,
figuratively.
That's not good. No,
we don't. We're not. We don't.
Well, I mean, some people are into that.
Injury to anal. That's for our next show.
It's a battle every single day. Thank you guys for making me laugh. That was funny.
Jeff and Sperone, thank you for sharing that.
And that's a battle every day, whether it's booze, and like we said earlier, whether it's any kind of drug, anything that you rely on. if you're an alcoholic, if you have a problem, just all right, this is like one of the moments where I need a second, and we're not going to say anything because I'm gonna find it right now. If you're aware of it, it makes it a little bit easier. It never changes though. Whether you're sober for 1,000 days, 2,000 days, 10 years, doesn't matter. You'll always be an alcoholic. You will always look at this and say, just one, but we can't have one, right? Like there's no such thing as one.
Right.
There is no such thing as one. And there's no such thing as one for in anything when it comes to any kind of addiction, guys, like anything. I'm stuck in it right now. I want to get out of it. So I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you, oh, I only had one. No. I had like 17 today. And maybe tomorrow I'll have 0. But the second I decide, just like Rob said, just like Ocho said, just be okay with it. Just accept it and be real about it and then fix it. And everybody's got a different reason how to fix it, when to fix it. And, you know what I mean, Rob?
I got you, Johnny. I absolutely know what you mean. And I sent you a novel of texts the other day. And I'm not going to lie. The Lord, who I'm a very, very big fan of Jesus, he's my homie. The Lord put on my heart what I texted you and what I thought and what he thought you needed to hear. And I want you to reread that whenever you're going through something, if even daily, just to try to retrain your brain, John, just to get out of this cycle, because you could still reprogram your brain. It's never too late. But I really do want you to take what I wrote, which was straight from the heart, and motivate you. Hopefully, use that as motivation to get out of what you're doing. So, and I meant every word of it. Well, you can do it, John.
And aside from you and everybody that's actually here, that man also, my doctor, Mr. Ocho, he's always behind me too. And the cool thing is these last 2 days hanging out with Dad at Howell Lanes and like trying to help him get back into form when he wasn't 80, which he is now, 80, 78. Old shriv son of a gun. Spending time with Dad this last week it's like reincarnating something up here. It's for all of you out there, you never know when you're gonna lose your dad, and just remember that you're here because of him and your mom.
Yep.
So I finally got there. It took a little while, like 20 years, too much, but talking to Ocho, going to visit your dad at the gravesite on your daughter's birthday. Rob, talking to you about getting back in shape for your daughter. You guys are just the best. You guys are just the best.
Thank you, John. And we don't do it for us. We do it for you, honestly.
Somebody else talk.
We're all here for each other, man.
We're all here. That's what it is. This is bowling camaraderie
really
at its finest,
and
really.
Honestly, of all the guests we've ever had on the show, who I am grateful, absolutely. Shows like this are the most favorite of mine that we've ever done. And it's been a long time since we've done one like this, honestly, because there's not a lot going on right now in the bowling world that is even worth talking about. In fact, bowling doesn't even matter when it comes to stuff like this. Like, I don't even care at this point if we talk about the tour or whatever else. This hits home for everybody, regardless of our love for any sport or movie or TV or whatever. Like, life issues is what we all have to deal with. And people need to know that they're going through the same thing, right? I mean, everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know that their feelings aren't just in their head, right? They want to know that their thoughts and their feelings are valid. Yeah,
They're valid.
1,000. That's exactly what I was going to say, Oach. Great point. And to hear other people talk about stuff that you may be going through, you never know how much that could help somebody or even change. Anybody listening to the show could literally change what they're going through right now. And I hope somebody can get inspiration from the stuff that we're talking about to whatever's going on in your life that you can change right now, just by listening to us and watching us to see what we're going through. You never know what that could do to somebody, John.
I think we're doing a good job tonight. I mean, like, this is the most transparent all three of us have been in a while. Like, we're not talking over each other. This is like when we're off camera.
Right.
We may as well be off camera right now because the people that are still here, like, understand what we're all talking about. Oach, right?
100%. I mean, these are sometimes these are our conversations when we're just hanging out on the deck with a fire going.
Dave Nice right there. Is it Nice? Nice? Nice. I think it's nice. Anyway, Dave. The good Lord saved him. He hates hard alcohol now. Hasn't bought a bottle in 10 years. That's
Heck yeah, Dave. That's awesome, dude.
Congrats on that, man. That's
awesome, man. Good for you. Good for you.
It's so hard because there's so many people that don't do it. I've had a cousin who's been an alcoholic almost his entire life, but even he's been in and out of prisons all up and down the East Coast. And at one point even got into a chase with the cops, ran through a roadblock, and got put in prison in Florida for 10 years. He's been in and out of the system, probably on his 8th or 9th DUI, somehow has a license again. Great state of Maine. Go figure. But he's 52 years old and he's out, got his own construction business, was able to buy his own truck, was able to buy his own house. It's never too late to turn any of this stuff around.
And you know what, Rob? That's the best thing. And what are we at? Can I follow that? And that's the best part is, like, we were talking about you getting in shape, or Ocho taking care of his family and his huge biceps, or me bowling and hanging out with Dad. There is no such thing as a timeline. There is no such thing as it's too late, especially in bowling. You can be 5'5" like Norm Duke, or you can be 6'3" like Mika, and you could be 50, you can be 30, you can be 20, doesn't matter. Just like booze, just like any other addiction, you always have the opportunity to just give it up. And for anybody out there that ever has a problem, these two guys right here, and Martha, who's not here, my lady.
We love you, Martha.
They saved my life. And Stephanie Sheridan. Stephanie saved my life too. There's always a chance to just start over. And that's what I'm going through. Farrah Williams, Najee Myers, Brandon Burwell, everybody that messaged me after that post. Thank you, Rad Rob, for that post.
Mm-hmm. Those are your words, but yeah, I did it for
anybody. Yes, they were. Anybody that is having a problem, you always have us. This trio right here, 3 years. 3 years we've been doing this, and for 3 years, the only thing we care about is our friends in the bowling world. We don't care about money. We don't care about anything. And I went out of my way to not curse tonight, right, Rob? How did I
appreciate that. I appreciate you did fantastic. Ocho, not so much, but we're working on it. You guys
always have us.
You wrecked it. So
you did kind of wreck
I'm gonna have to watch the replay. It must be subconscious. I literally don't remember that.
You stunk for like the first 30 seconds.
That's horrible.
It was your intro. The
That's-
whole
I
intro
think you
was
cursed
freaking.
like
You
15
said it
times.
4 times.
At least
What is
15
that?
times in like the first one.
He goes, fuck it.
You're like, John, don't curse. And they're
It's
like,
just-
oh, yes, sorry.
It is so ingrained in my vernacular that I honestly did not even realize it. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm seriously.
Yeah, way to go,
Because
way to go.
it was
Way to
funny
go.
when my daughter was like, 1, 2 years old. She doesn't understand English. And I'm like, yeah, but I got plenty of time to clean it up before she knows what I'm talking about. Well, she's almost 7 and she's a human parent.
Do we have an imbecile of the
We
week?
do, but I don't really want to get into it right now unless you want to. Unless you want to go.
No, whenever.
Okay.
Whenever.
Kids are human recorders. They're human parrots. They will say literally everything that you say, especially because you're their hero. But I want to read what Rhonda Ibarra said here because this is fantastic. It can't all come up on the screen, but I'll read it on the side here.
Rhonda and Gil, before you read this,
Yeah.
Can I say this? Before you even read this,
Sure.
I want to talk about two of the greatest people in the world. It's Rhonda and Gilbert Ibarra from Vegas. These are the best human beings I've ever met. Now read it.
So happy you have such a great support system, Johnny. So many people are going through mental illness and drug addiction who don't have support or can't find the help they need. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Amen.
Rhonda, thank you so much. I miss Vegas every single day. I miss bowling with you. You blonde beauty. You're amazing. That woman right there, dude, Rhonda, always smiling, always happy, always amazing. If everybody in the world was like her, the world would be a better place. Rhonda, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rhonda.
so much for that message, babe. Thank you so much. Say hi to Gilbert. Love you, babe.
I want to point out one guy right here who actually, we're going to have a poll on this show eventually. I know I call you the sexiest man in the world, Johnny, but I kind of have a bit of a man crush on this guy, Nate Garcia, PBA Pro.
It looks like this, right?
Hashtag long Nate, who's been on the show several times. He's such a good dude. Him and Elise are the bee's knees, seriously. And he's here every week, just about. So thank you, Nate. Appreciate that. A lot of people are sharing their stories tonight, and that's fantastic. I brought up Chris Wilson on a screen earlier. He's been going through severe depression and alcohol abuse. It's a hard thing to deal with. We appreciate everybody sharing their stories tonight. Even if you don't have a story and you just like what we're talking about.
Hey, Chris, thank you for sharing that. Anything we can do, gladly give him my phone number. And yeah, man, like gladly. Can you read what this gentleman has to say? Because not only was he one of my idols growing up, but now I'm watching his son grow up. I want to read this.
John Rome. We're big fans of John. It says Johnny P has a huge heart. He's also great at deflecting. That's 1,000% right. Johnny is so good at not lying, but I mean, just kind of. Well, I mean, yeah, no. Let's call it this.
Just read it, Rob.
You're great at deflecting. He called to check on him and flips it, trying to help me. Number one, that's what you do. You do always try to help others. You're one of the most giving people I've ever known. But two,
I already know I'm an asshole.
When you're in the middle of addiction, you're gonna lie about it. You're gonna say everything's fine because
that's not lying. I already know I'm an asshole.
Right.
That's why I deflect. And then I help my friends like that guy.
Which you always do.
Or like you.
Always.
And the only reason I deflect is because somebody like John Rome has been there for me for my entire life. So
he says he knows your tricks.
The last thing in the world I want to do is give him my shit. I'd rather help him. And
he calls you on your BS.
He also writes the greatest songs ever.
Yeah.
Like you should actually ask John Rome to send you snack bar fries.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I will do that.
Ask John Rome to send you snack bar fries.
There you go. Done. John, send me.
And here's Joe Chadden, another good friend from Vegas. It's also putting others' pain and suffering in front of their own. And that's like exactly what Joe just said right there. Like for me, my one saving grace is when I see people struggling more than me, I want to save them. Like I want to save them.
Yeah.
I want to take care of them because anybody that's even in the same realm as what we've been talking about for the last 40 minutes, they're all in like that section where, like I've always said, I'm brilliant. My brain's overactive, but I want to help people that are struggling as much, if not more, than I am.
Well, let me ask you this then, just straightforward, Johnny.
Sure.
Does helping other people help get you out of your own head? Like, does that put all your stuff on the back burner?
It slows down my brain, man. Here's the thing, when anybody ever wants to talk to me about their problems, my brain shuts down and I listen. That's why I think I want to become a therapist or a psychiatrist, because when I hear other people and the first line they always say is, "You're never going to believe this," and I say, "Yes, I will. I promise I will." And whatever they say, I do this. Yep, been there, done that. But for some reason, when I talk to people that are struggling like more than me, I calm down because I feel like I can offer them advice if they want it. I can help them if they want it. So that's my answer.
JD says, "Stop being nice to people that don't have your back." That's fair, right? I mean,
he's right to a certain extent, but in the same respect, though, if you have somebody that's been behind you for a long time and then they start to struggle, JD was always behind my back. JD always took care of me. So did Brandy, his wife. So did Joseph, his son. So did Dominic. They were always there.
Yeah.
Even when I acted like a POS, they said, "Go away for a little while and then come back." And I did. And they're still there. That's the kind of stuff that is real. And you have people like that. Joe Chadden, Dave Rosenbaum is another guy from Chris Williams, who was here earlier. There's certain people that like they just get it. And those are the people that are always in your corner. George Hart at Sweet Blends, always in your corner.
I love George.
Just like say, "Hey, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. I like you, but like, here's what's up. You do it with me, Rob. Ocho does it with me. And vice versa." So no, I appreciate people that call me out. I actually love it. That's why I like Martha so much, because she tells me when I'm being a douche flute. Was that a curse?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
We love Martha. Like, she is the best. I've had quite a few conversations.
I love
with her.
that Cherokee.com.
One thing, we'll just wrap it up here with what Skyer says. It's conversations like this that make me feel better, knowing I'm not the only one on here dealing with demons, and the bottle has made me feel like we are all a big family here on the show. You really are. Like, we are one big family. We have our own dedicated core group who aren't just watching because they're friends of yours, but I think because they actually like the show. We've picked up a lot of new viewers. We're actually getting more views on YouTube, John, than your Facebook page now, and it wasn't that way in the beginning. We're growing organically, but people really dig not just the bowling talk, but I mean, I think this show needed to happen. Like, tonight's show needed to happen. I got a lot of people messaging me right now that we need to wrap up.
Douche flute?
Yes,
is that what I heard?
Say douche flute.
I never. Is that a thing? Am I that far out of the realm that I don't know what a douche flute is?
I say douche canoe. A douche
You're
canoe.
gonna
Is
show me
what
one. I've heard it. That's what I've heard of.
But I've never heard douche flute.
Now we got to get another shirt printed up.
Sweetheart.
That's
hey, hold on. I have a question. Has Evelyn hit the cutoff man yet? Have you been training with her?
She hasn't hit the cutoff man yet.
I think her arms are too short. I think that's what it is.
Can Evelyn pass the salt?
That is the cutest dog ever. I'm telling you. Steve Sachs, appreciate you, brother. Thanks, man.
You had a great career for the Yankees and the Dodgers, except when you forgot how to throw first
Steve.
base.
Respectfully, one of for Steve before he goes, one of the most beautiful games, one of the gentlest releases you'll ever see. Great bowler, great man, great friend. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for being here.
Ocho does not have a gentle release. Ocho is a very aggressive release. You can hear it from a mile away.
I get anger out. That's why I'm calm and collected.
Chris Wilson says the second time he opened about it. Very hard to be public about it. It takes a lot of guts to be open with your problems, and we appreciate anybody here that has told their story tonight.
Chris, hang on. Let me close this door. Not you.
Put John L's comment.
John L's here. John L's here. It's put out there. January 31st, celebrating 12 years sober. That's awesome, dude. We got to get him on the show.
John,
he wouldn't know how to get on.
I want him and Glick on the show before.
And he'd throw the phone through the wall before John L would get on this show with a string and a freaking can of soup and be like, "Oh, hey, I'm
Ocho,
on the show."
I'm serious. I want John L and I want Glick on the show before we wrap it up. If we ever decide,
John L.
No, like before we stop doing this show, because eventually we got to stop. So.
John L. I enjoyed 2 shots with your sister Lisa and 2 cigarettes, and we bullshitted right before the show started at Howell Lanes. Great to see you, brother. And
hold on, Rudy Rev's in the house. We got a Rudy Rev sighting. Although we're wrapping up here in a minute. Thanks for being here, Rudy.
How are you going to bring in one of the best bowlers of all time?
How has he not been on the show yet?
Oh,
Rudy,
what's that about?
Ooh.
Hit one of us up, Rudy.
Hit
me up because Johnny's not on Facebook. But we got to get Rudy Revs on the show. I watched him bowling Nebas growing up, like legendary stuff. Everybody knows Rudy Revs.
There's nobody better.
He said not sure. No, seriously, I want to have you on the show. I don't know why we haven't had you on. We got to get Litch on the show too. Both of them, Larry and Mike, or either, whichever. I don't care.
Now we're totally ripping down.
Way before you cure your disease of nonecatol. Whenever you cure that disease, nonecatol.
We have
to get Dave Gwindon and Robert Smith too. Please do, Rudy. Please do.
We've had
Rad Rob.
Yeah, we've had Max and Bob on the show. Remember?
Let's go back to our convo.
Yeah.
Wasn't he number 499 or was he 500?
I'll read that one from John Rome.
Oh, yes, sir.
Anxiety and depression are very real. Too many people are ashamed of it. Embrace it. So here's what I'm going to say to that. And then, Rob, I'm going to pass it back to you guys. I know it's been like almost 90 minutes.
Yeah, we're done.
You guys got to do. Drew Carey now runs The Price is Right? In replace of Bob Barnes. We Ryan took place of Pat Sajak, right?
Right.
And the same way Bob Barker used to say, spay and neuter your pets, Drew Carey always says, take care of your mental health. That's like really, really, really important. That's the last thing he says every single time on The Price is Right, which is one of the greatest shows to ever be introduced to television. Everybody watches it, right? So what we just read from John Rome, that's for anybody. That's for everybody. That's just take care of what's up here, guys. However you have to. However you got to do it. Whatever you have to do to get there, just whatever is between the ears, take care of it. Nick D'Ambrosio, one of my favorite people in the world. He saves my life every single Monday. On Tuesday, Mike Ferraro at Majestic saves my life every single day for two totally different reasons. Nick is by the book, and Mike is effing crazy. But they both make the exact same sense to me in my brain. Take care of your mental health however you guys have to, and we are always here for you.
Absolutely.
Everybody here in this show is always here for all of you guys.
Especially John Philly.
I was in the car when you were talking to George Hart last night. Want to talk about a great man? That's a great man right there.
Filipizic?
His son
last
has
name.
more talent than I ever could imagine I would ever had. That's a great man right there. Want to know why? Because he actually gives a poop. We talk all the time about weightlifting. We talk about booze. We talk about everything. That's a great man right there. That man, Jeff Skyer, is another great man. Everybody that's on this show right now is here for a reason. And I thank all of you. All of you. I'm going to stop talking right now. Rob, Oach, take it away.
I do want to say one thing for Nikki here. He busts my balls on Facebook daily. He holds me accountable when I post Republican memes. We argue, we debate, but I respect that dude, 1,000%. I don't know everything about him, but I know he's a hardworking son of a gun.
Ocho and that manner and George Hart are my three best friends. That's one of my best friends, Rob. And want to know why?
That's why I don't call him an asshole.
We never talk about politics. We talk about bowling. We talk about family. We talk about layouts for bowling balls. We talk about poop that has nothing to do with anything. We talk about real life stuff, and he takes care of my dad, and he takes care of me. And so do you. And so do you. You gotta knock that. You gotta knock that stuff when it comes to that, because you're missing out on great people. You're missing out on great people. Ocho's wife, one of the greatest people in the world. I won't say her name.
We love you, quarantine lady.
Quarantine lady.
Ryan Mullins. That's my ex-wife's. That's my bro. Ryan, great to see you, man. What are you doing here, man?
Missing you, apparently. Everybody does. Anyways. Let's give it a little levity here, and we'll finish. I don't know how we can top any of that, but we'll try to lighten the mood here with the imbecile of the week.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment.
If you guys don't know how to use a seatbelt, just ring your call button, and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Here's the imbecile of the week.
Some people are really stupid.
I will get my neck eventually. I promise, Ocho. I'll make a promise to you, Ocho. I will find my neck before I die. No, you don't think so? Okay. This was a submission, I think, from Nico on our Facebook page. If you were not signed up, look us up on Facebook, Straight Up 5, and send us a request. We'll let you in the group. Let's see here. I think I'm out of order. Hold on. Okay. Ryan Elliott. This was from Nico. Ryan Elliott apparently was commenting on a Daring Tang post and says, why is Tang throwing the child's way now? Can you let everybody know what that is, John? I'm assuming two-handed. I haven't been watching Darren lately, but
Darren's trying two-handed, so keep going.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's what this POS is talking about.
Another fan, Aiden Guerrero, says, Ryan Elliott, why is there a grown man crying about bowling? Like, seriously, with all the stuff we got going on in the world, you're going to cry about, if Darren Tang wants to bowl one or two-handed. So Nico had to smarten him up and says, why does it matter to you? He's doing what he thinks gives him the best chances to win.
Love Nico's response. Love it. Love it.
And
I saw Victor Varner somewhere down there.
Ryan replies to the question why he's crying about bowling and says, because I've done it my whole life, and like real bowlers, we all hate this kiddie style of bowling. You must do it to judging by your hair color.
Put this away. Put this away.
Sure.
Just get it out of here.
Yeah.
Is your daughter in the room?
Nope.
Ryan Elliott. Ryan Elliott. Eat shit. Eat.
You stupid fuck!
Yeah.
Shit.
I agree.
You fucking loser. All
Everything you said.
I'm done.
Okay. All right, cool. Like why? Like why? Why?
Troll.
Yeah.
Troll. Victor Varner, one of the best people ever. Read Victor's comment. I love it.
Who is we? As in, like, we hate two-handed bowling? He said it's part of the game these days. It's not for everyone. Whoever it takes to knock down all 10 pins. That's what we've been saying forever. Plus, it's his job. It's how he pays the bills. If he has to adapt to two hands, so be it.
That's a normal educated response.
Kevin McCune, who throws the ball harder than anybody on tour, was on this show last year and said, I'm thinking of bowling two-handed because I need to compete with the rest of the guys.
Walter Ray Williams Jr.
79 years old and throwing two-handed. I don't know how old he is.
That's defamation.
Ocho, before I lose my poop, Ocho, take this one. Take this one. Take this one.
Do it, Och.
Before I lose it.
Do it, Och.
Lose it.
I don't know. Do something.
What am I doing?
You're going to save me from what Victor Varner just said, but like I'm going to say it the wrong way.
Yeah, say it in your doctorly way.
Go ahead.
Come on, Och. No pressure.
About why he should bowl two-handed?
Just your comments on him and on Ryan Elliott in general.
Well, I yelled, you fucking idiot,
Give
really
us
loud.
a little bit more.
So I just got to text some
before I
quarantine
lose.
lady.
Can you break it down?
She goes, are you okay?
medically?
And I said, yeah, I'm just yelling at the imbecile of the week. I didn't see what was said, so I was texting to a quarantine lady about why I'm not getting mad.
All right, bring
What
it
did it
back
say?
up. Bring it back up. He's obviously not.
Hold on,
What does it say?
Hold on, let me
He's
get this.
racist?
Why is Darren Tang throwing the child?
I saw that part.
And
I
he
saw
says,
this part.
I've done it my whole life, and like real bowlers, we all hate this kiddie style of bowling.
Oh, he's speaking for all of us?
Yeah. All right, I'll start. Ryan,
I didn't sign up for it. I didn't
I'll
know.
start. I'm 40 years old. Jason Belmonte's 43 years old. Oscar Palermo is 42 years old. When they entered bowling, they changed bowling the same way Mark Roth did in the 70s, and he won Bowler of the Year 77, 8, 9, and 84. There is always somebody that changes the game and everybody follows it. Since Jason Belmonte has entered the scene in 2008 in America, forget about what he did before that. Since he entered in 2008, he's got 31 titles and 15 majors, and he eclipsed Pete Weber by 5, and he's only 40-something. The entire world of bowling, every other person you meet throws it with two hands, and now every single pro shop driller, every single bowler is trying to teach them how to do what Belmo does. Not to mention, Belmo is also one of the kindest, gentlest, and most accessible professionals of all time.
Yes.
Any sport. He's like Gronk when it comes to football. He's like John Franco when it comes to baseball.
He's Tom Brady, bro. He's Tom Brady.
So the fact that somebody could sit there
Why did he say we? I
And
didn't
write
sign a
something
petition.
so disgusting.
Speaking for all of us.
I told you I wouldn't curse. I told you I wouldn't curse.
We've made it this far. We're past the hour mark. It's fine.
Hang on.
It's welcome to Straight Up 5 After Dark.
Good.
Smooth jazz.
Meanwhile, there's not going to be a
Let me
one-handed
just
bowler.
let me
in
just
probably
show
15
you
years
what I
because
feel
they're gonna
about this
realize
guy.
there's no injuries.
Joe
for
Pomp
us.
with the
Before I
sexiest
say
beard.
anything else, just give me a second.
Nice cock. Nice
That
cock,
should have
Johnny.
been your answer. That literally should have been your
I
answer.
love your cock, John.
The fact that anybody could be that shitty for no fucking reason, sorry, no effing reason, it's just gross to me. We all love this sport, right, man?
Yeah.
And
These are
that
rotten
guy
people,
and that
basically.
style of bowling is the future of this sport.
I'm going to do it, John. I told you the other day. I want to try it.
Pompilio is in the chat. He's the most traditional cranker I've ever met.
And a great beard.
Guarantee he would never, ever, ever say what that POS just wrote. He would never say it. Want to know why? Because it's going to keep the sport going. And it's keeping the sport going. We all love EJ, right? We all love EJ. EJ's Pete Weber now.
Congrats to EJ on 25 titles.
We all love Simo. We all love it's gross to me what that POS wrote. It's gross to me.
Greatest show ever, says Dave.
What did Palm say? I wasn't even reading it.
He says, I wish I were able to throw it two-handed. Not gonna lie, I physically can't. No hate here. Times have changed. Johnny, I messaged you the other day and said, when I get back into bowling, when I get the weight down, should I just restart and try two-handed? Why not?
Dude, I can't throw it two-handed.
I'm gonna try.
I can't. I
don't think my hips can go that way.
It's the most embarrassing thing. Next week, I'll film a video of me throwing it two-handed.
Yes.
It's so gross, so embarrassing. It'll actually be a great show.
Thank you, Sonny, for your support. We love you.
Sonny,
Appreciate it.
I love you so much, babe. Thank you for all you do for the sport of bowling. You're the best, girl.
Philip Marks
My
says,
boy Phil.
How are you? Not my thumb for years, but had wrist pain. Don't think he can do it two-handed. I mean, again, not everybody can do it, but hell, Walter's doing it. Parker did it. Parker did it on his YouTube channel. By the way, check out the Bone Legacy on YouTube. We love those guys.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. So, hold on. I gotta read Chuck's comment here before we go. Look, guys, I feel bad for that guy. That guy being the imbecile of the week, Ryan Elliott. He posted that while sitting in his underwear in his mom's basement. That's spot on. I guarantee. Oh, Tammy Pissaro's in the house.
Who even wears underwear anymore? What the hell?
Good evening, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy. Looking forward to bowling with Justin this summer.
John, I love you. Thank you for being. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you,
guys.
Johnny.
Thank you, Rob, for making this show possible. Ocho, thank you.
I do what I can.
Always being there for not only me, but for anybody that ever has a question. You guys make the world go round. You guys are like every ounce of my soul. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Can I say something about Oach before we leave?
Yeah.
Because I never do publicly. Because I hate it. I don't want to ever give him props.
No.
I know the real Ocho.
Look, you necklace mofo.
I know
God
the real
damn it.
Ocho.
I do too.
I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit. I've seen Ocho without his mask. I said it. I got it out of the way. I've seen it. He's not pretty. He's not a good looking man at all. But I have seen him. It's the last show. You might as well just take it off, Oach. All of it. You have a great body. I've seen it. I've seen that too. I've seen his body. Most of it. No, actually, anyway. Ocho,
easy, Rob. Jesus,
Ocho doesn't
shut up.
like to be warm and fuzzy, but I will say.
No, Ocho wants the show to end soon.
I know.
He's
We all
gotta
gotta
go.
I gotta go to the bathroom too. Anyway, Ocho doesn't like to be all warm and fuzzy, but I will say this: this is from the bottom of my heart. This is not for anybody but you.
That's from the
From the
bottom of
of
your
my
nacho platter.
My neck, wherever it is.
Your
Thank
waddle.
you for being loyal. I went back the other day. We've done podcasts together for almost 7 years.
No, we haven't.
You did a
That
previous
never
show with
happened.
me called RTW, which I really want you to go back and watch. It was.
That's not true. I didn't even get the title right.
It was the funniest stuff I've ever done in my life. You showed up every week, no questions asked. I told this to Martha the other day.
I didn't have a kid either.
You're still here doing this every week. You were here
this
every
is
Monday
important.
night, even when the Steelers were on. You still recorded with me. You were watching a turn show, but I mean that's fine.
Sure, yeah,
You watched the Rangers too, but whatever. It's semantics. You were still here with me every single week, doing the dumbest shit we ever did. I just want to publicly say thank you for doing that. Seriously.
No.
You don't get enough credit, Ouch, for the stuff that you've done. You are one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. You're also one of the smartest people I've ever met.
That's true.
And the most craziest person. And you're into some weird shit. Like some weird shit.
Not true.
But that's fine. That's fine. We're all into weird stuff.
True.
I just want to take this record. It's on record for forever, out in the interwebs. Thanks, Ouch. Seriously, for helping me out over the last few years and doing some stupid shit. That's all.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
And that's why I gave you that special birthday gift with Dick LeBeau and your best friend now and all that. Like that's what you mean to me. That was anyway. It is what it is.
Well, that and Nick will get you a hot cup of Jack.
All full transparency tonight. We got all that off our chest. Next week I'm gonna hate you. So just it's fine. Anyway, guys, women, men. Oh, by the way, RFK identified two genders today. I don't know if you guys saw that, but regardless of what you identify as, we love everybody.
We had a great show. Thank you for everybody for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us for almost 2 hours. Rob ran a great show. Ocho, thank you for everything. Love you guys both, and everybody that was watching. Please follow us wherever you can, and thank you for being here tonight.
And leave a review on the Apple
Please leave us 5
app,
stars on Apple Podcasts and iTunes and Google Podcasts. I don't think Google Podcasts is around anymore, but anywhere you listen to your podcasts, if you do, hey, we got an audio podcast, by the way. It's not always updated, but I'm up to date now.
Do we?
And subscribe to us on YouTube if you're not here on YouTube. Straight Up 5 Podcast. Straight Up 5 on all socials. And I promise we're going to get those updated at some point. I got to get it. We need an assistant. Anybody want to be an assistant for the show and want to post clips on TikTok? Hit me up on Facebook.
Chuck Rich.
Who was the guy before Eli?
Jimmy's still in the squid. Yeah.
Jimmy. He's still in the Sharks.
Anyway, guys, we love you. We'll be back next week. I'm going to try to get a guest. We got what's the next tournament? Roth Holman doubles. This is already taped. The Mike Albee Nevada Classic kicks off Saturday, March 15th on FS1. Qualifying starts in a couple of weeks here. Wow, they have that much time off between events. I didn't realize that.
Somebody good.
And then we got the World Series coming up, which is a month long on the shithole of the world, Reno, Nevada. Yeah, seriously, I don't know why they decided that. Anyway,
armpit of America.
CDB's here. Hold on, we got to say, did I miss CDB? We love Catherine Dorn Ballard. Carolyn. Jesus Christ, I can't even talk. Carolyn, we love you.
What about Carolyn?
We can get her on show too. Hit us up, Carolyn.
Bowler.
Is she a Jersey chick too? Ain't she from Jersey?
Coach. Bowler of the decade, most consecutive strikes on TV ever. One of the coolest human beings to ever walk the planet. CDB, would you like to be our guest next week? I want to talk about the most humbling moment ever if you say yes. CDB, I want the entire world to hear your story. So, CDB, if you're available, we would love to have you next week.
If she already left, someone forward this to her and get that on there. And is she a Jersey girl, right?
Yes,
Is she from
and
Jersey?
she's also married to Mr. Ballard Jr., one of the greatest.
Oh man, I love Del.
The greatest talents ever. From I think it was like North Richardson Hills, Texas, and I know that CDB is a West Texas A&M alum. Like I know everything about CDB, and she's always been there for my entire family, and she's fabulous, and she's aggressive and awesome on the lanes, and she's fabulous. That's who we need on the show. That's who we need. That's who we need.
Well, there you go. We'll make it happen.
Someone call the agents and put it together.
All right, guys.
Have our
Nico
people
told me to hit
call
the
her
outro,
people.
so that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Hit the outro, Rad Rob. Love you guys.
See you guys. Appreciate it. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. You can follow the show on Twitter at Straight Up 5 Pod. Follow Johnny Jr. at JPJR07. Follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. And follow Dr. Ocho at the Dr. Ocho. Got a question for Johnny? Send your questions to straightup5podcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. Right here on the